team, we're going to stand together and fight this disease.
I have it here. I found it.
Travel through the open door. Circumstances navigated the path, and life happened oh so fast. No, it got lonely. Sometimes you see, I know we couldn't make it. Even when I'm offbeat, I still land on my feet, and nothing can shake me. 'Cause I know life took a hold. I never. This is where I am destined to be. I'm not ready to give up. I believe in the miracle of life. Life's a quick but no rehearsal. Learn quickly, they'll come for your goal.
Wow.
Wisdom.
Telling you the truth, it's all in what you do. Some things you gotta do. It's fight for millions. Take a second, see the blessing in it. But much expected, much is given. When I made the living, now I'm giving back to children. Never let the power come first before your happiness. Yes, you can be the best if you go the distance. Mix a little sweat with your persistence. You know that the best things are never instant. Just shine, let them see your brilliance. Get up, open up your eyes now. It's the moment of truth. No backing down. We're bringing it through like for the children, it's a given. You gotta give it, be a blessing.
This my personal statement. Run the game like I'm aces. Learn to develop patience, determined to be the greatest.
Yeah, bobbing and weaving and changing up like the season.
So I do it for all my people. Jabbing the competition. For recognition, I'm fighting just to promote equality where we lacking. Or cancer slowing our road. I'm confident we'll make it. We focus on common goals. Yeah.
Give back, give love, give insult away. Never give up, stand tall to fight another day. 2 toes, 2 feet, I stand on the ground. I'm going back soon and fight this final round. Life's a quick but no rehearsal. Learn quickly, they'll come for your
Bro, take it personal, 'cause the devil is a lie. Hey. I'm telling you the truth, hey. It's all in what you do, hey. Things you gotta do, hey, hey. Ah, there it is. There's the bop. There's the bop. Hey. What's up, DB? Love is the word. What's up? Triple OG, DB. Love is the word, TB. Sergeant Dorsey. Hey, DB. What's up? Asia Math. What's up? Roscoe Pico Train. What's up, man? Appreciate everybody coming in here tonight, man. Got a fun show tonight, Sarge. How you doing, Sarge?
I'm good. Look, I'm going to be better in a minute, right? It's after 5 o'clock, right?
Yeah. Drink up. So when the beam in, you know, I mean, you could be a little tilted, you know.
Yeah.
We can get some stop unplugged. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up, right there.
How was your week?
Week was good. Well, I can't say the shit show's over, but at least shit show 1.0. We about to gear up for 2.0 now, right?
Definitely. He actually made his first appearance today. Did you get a chance to see that?
Yeah, I saw his little punk ass come out. What was he touching the flowers for? Who does that? He looks so uncomfortable. He's standing there just looking at the reef, and then he touched it. Who?
Had no clue. I didn't see it. I just saw him saluting. That's all I saw. I didn't actually see the video. It was obviously to pay homage to Veterans Day, right?
Right. Yeah, he had to, and I know he was hot about that because we haven't seen him. And listen, I haven't missed him. I'm thinking, is this what it takes for us not to have to see and listen to his bullshit? And
Right.
last week, for the first time in the history of ever, Fox News cut off from one of his surrogates, Kelly Lioness McEnany.
Hmm.
She started with some bullshit, and about two sentences in, they said, "Oh no, hell no, I can't show this."
Really?
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. So I guess he's lost his luster. It's
Well,
not fun anymore.
yeah, it's not funny anymore. Yeah, he got 60 days left and he's out of there. Uh, what do you think will happen over the next 60 days? 60 days? Yeah, about 60 days.
Ooh, it's hard to call. I mean, listen, he done already fired about 7 people since
7?
Friday. Yeah, he fired 4 in the Defense Department and replaced them with 4 of his sycophants. And so I don't know if he about ready to start a war. I don't know what the hell he's up to.
Mm.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
What are your thoughts as it pertains to the election fraud and all that?
Well, they said today in a couple of different articles that all 50 states have been contacted, and all 50 secretaries of state said, "We all good. There's no fraud here, Democratic and Republican,
Mm.
no fraud." But they're making a big deal of the Senate race, and so there's going to be a hand recount, because if we get those 2 Senate seats, it could be a wrap.
Mm.
Because then Kamala Harris, being the vice president, would come in and vote to break any ties. It would be a
Ah,
50-50 situation.
gotcha.
And
Gotcha.
then as the vice president, she gets to come in and break those ties. So maybe something might get done.
Mm.
I'm
So,
a I'm a realist, but
mm,
I want to be hopeful.
so is that her role? She is like she's part of the Senate if there's a tie, or is she always a vote in the Senate?
No, no, no. She's because she's the VP, and so she is the tiebreaker if they needed to have someone come in and break that tie. Just like right now, the Christian, that's what I call him.
Hmm.
Uh, he would be, there's no need because they have the majority. But whenever there's a 50-50 split, then whoever the VP is, I think that they term them actually president of the Senate.
Mm.
So they come in, and if somebody needs to break that tie, obviously they're going to side with their uh, president.
Got you. Got you. How did you feel when you uh Saturday night when you saw the uh speech the speech? Oh, your TV's on again, huh?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm sorry.
It sounds like an airplane.
Yeah,
Hey.
hang on one sec. Let me move.
Hmm. Yeah, I appreciate.
Okay.
Yeah, how did you feel with Kamala Harris becoming the first Black vice president? Did you have any emotional attachment to that?
No, because I'm lukewarm on her, but I like I said, for me it was the lesser of 2 evils, and so it's history breaking and all that's great and good, and um, glass ceiling has been broken for women, um, Black women, Asian. I mean, she checks off a
Mhm,
lot of boxes for sure.
mhm,
Um, I would imagine that she'll probably run next time for president. I don't know that she'll get it,
mhm.
but you know,
In your greatest opinion, do you think he's a one-term president or a two-term president?
given his age, I would say 1 term.
Mm. And that would open up the door for Kamala Harris to run for president, right? She's obviously will be a shoe-in for a candidate, right?
Yeah, and then Knucklehead is talking about running again in 2024. I don't know if he's really planning on running.
Oh, Donald Trump?
Yeah, or if he's just saying that because he need to raise money. He's raising money like 90 going north right now, because, and listen, I think everybody who wants to contribute to his bullshit should. Yeah, go ahead and give him your money, because you can't figure out yet that he don't give a damn about you. So yeah, give him your money and let him do with it. Give it to his rotten ass spawn and whatever else he's going to do with it. Try to pay off that $421 million debt that is going to be due very shortly. I don't think he's actually going to run. I think this is this is his last ditch effort at money making.
Oh, and he has to pay for the recount too if it were to go to that, right? If I'm not, does he pay or does the state pay?
I don't know, but I don't know. I don't know.
So yeah, I didn't really have an emotional attachment, but I'll tell you what happened to me, Sarge. I never grasped the understanding of people voting for Joe Biden. Not that I approve of it, but Saturday night I finally understood it. Like in terms of like, not that it makes sense, but I can see the ideology behind it. You know, like
you had an epiphany. You had an aha moment.
No, it wasn't an aha moment.
What was it? You said you could see, you can understand.
No, not like aha, I can understand. However, I can see people's mindset, like saying that he's the lesser of the two evils. I don't agree with it, but I finally, maybe because it was over and it was no more fight in the race, or no more room to run. I said, oh, I could see why. Not that I approve of it, you know, but I did watch the speech to see where they're going to use the word black, and she used it. I was like, oh, okay, she used it, but we'll see if it turns into something, right?
Yeah, you know, I mean, you can say anything, right? I'm from Missouri. Show me, right?
Right.
So we'll see what happens. You know, he said, and I didn't watch the speeches, but he said that, you know, blacks have come through for me, and I'm not gonna forget you. Okay, somebody needs to make sure that they hold his feet to the fire, and because when you say that, what does that mean? It sounds very generic. You know, it's like he's a politician, and much like, you know, what I hear when I talk about deciphering police code talk with police chiefs, and you know, they're savvy politicians to an extent. When they talk generically, I'm not going to forget you. What does that mean? What, you know, what are you going to do for me? Right? What are you going to do?
How do we hold them to the fire? How is it? Through Senate? Is it through, like, how do we touch the president?
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, he has checks and balances in the Senate. Obviously, you know, if this Senate was not GOP majority, little Tink Tink wouldn't be able to get away with half of the stuff that he's been able to get away with. Just like Obama couldn't get away with or couldn't do many of the things that he wanted to do because it was a opposing party who was in charge of the Senate. Now the House is democratically controlled, and they handle the checkbook, right? So to some extent, they can handcuff this president and not give him monies to do certain things. But the good stuff, in my opinion, the real stuff that needs to get done, judges who are being appointed, Supreme Court, all that stuff, confirmations, that's the Senate.
Right.
And having a Democratic president and a majority rule in the Senate, we're going to have them doing, I mean, listen, they already came out talking shit. McConnell is shrewd. That old fucker has been around forever. He knows his job, you know what I mean? And
I just don't like him. You know what I mean? Like,
he's nasty. He's just nasty.
He just don't.
He look nasty. He probably smells. I'm looking at his damn teeth when he speaks, and I'm like, dude, you're a fucking senator. Y'all don't have a dental plan? What the what? No dental plan.
Right.
Or you just don't care.
Right.
So
yeah, I'm very interested to see how this plays out. But I have good news for you. I started.
Did your homework?
I started on. I'm gonna show you what I have thus far. They saw it last night, and I'm gonna show you.
Okay.
And show you what I have thus far. I got the Instagram account already.
Okay.
I had I had one phone call with some organizers in Miami, and but we'll get started. I'll show you what we got thus far. So that's what we got thus far. Can you see it?
I do.
So it's like it's red, black, and green.
Okay.
And those are like marquee people that had influence in those 5 major cities.
Okay.
So Trayvon Martin, Martin Luther King, Miss Phillips, Detroit Red, and Harriet Tubman. So the Underground Railroad went through Philadelphia. So, it's just putting it together, see what it looks like. So it's coming. So I'm gonna have a lot. I'm gonna have a lot for you by what you said, January 20th, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I started looking at property in Atlanta. So I'm definitely excited, man. And Taquan Savage is in the building already. He putting a down payment on dinner for you tonight.
That's what's up. That's what's up right there. That'll give me at least an appetizer. What are you gonna do, sir?
An appetizer.
I just had an amazing dinner a couple of nights ago.
Oh, where'd you go?
Went to Ocean Prime in Beverly Hills to celebrate. Yeah, this shit being over and being able to kind of exhale, right? Yeah. So what? It's funny. I was telling my good girlfriend who I went with. When you get out of the hood, all kind of stuff is open. They party. They got on party hats and fucking noise makers.
Really?
I'm being extra, but I'm just saying.
Okay.
We went to a really nice restaurant. It was socially distanced. It was outdoors. They had the little nice heat lamps on us, and so, I had on a couple of layers because it was Saturday and it rained right earlier. It rained, so I was a little concerned.
Sure.
And but yeah, you can go out and do things and partake of all sorts of festivities when you get north of the Santa Monica Freeway.
No helicopters flying over, right?
Shoot. But I did notice, and I was surprised. I guess they were expecting, and maybe still are. There were a lot of businesses that were boarded up in Beverly Hills because they got not too long ago over there on Rodeo. Your cousins came through there and was breaking storefront windows, so they said, "Yeah, we're not gonna. That can't happen again."
My cousins.
Yeah, your people. Ray and them.
Ray and them. Pookie.
Yeah.
Little Debo. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I was surprised to see businesses boarded up. But other than that, I mean, like I said, we had a what I am noticing when I do go out, because I'm a foodie, for those of you who haven't figured it out, I like to eat. And they are having at least at Ocean Prime, they had a 2-hour minimum, a maximum that you could sit at a table to keep people rotating in and out so that they could stay open and make money, obviously. And, what they charge, your appetizer and a salad. And yeah, you had already paid a couple of people's salary that night.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
Taquan Savage, he has a message for you.
Oh, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. You seem to know of what you speak.
Oh man. So did you get your tomahawk steak? What'd you get?
No, they didn't have that. They didn't have a tomahawk. So whenever I go, I generally I do ribeye. So I had a really nice ribeye, got twin lobster tails, and had I like spicy drinks. I had a spicy drink a couple of years ago at McCormick and Schmidt. I have not. I was like a crackhead. I've been chasing that drink. They don't offer it anymore, but they were able to do a margarita for me and put some Serrano chilies in it to give it a little kick. That's what I like.
Yeah. Isn't it funny how when you taste something and you can't find it no more? Isn't that shit like, oh my God.
They hurt my feelings. And then when I went back to McCormick and Schmidt, and they said, yeah, it wasn't very popular. I'm like, what's wrong with these people? That was the most, and I wish, sometimes when you get a drink, you can see the ingredients on the menu. I wished I had taken a picture or written it down so that I could try to recreate it at home. But Yeah, I haven't been able to have anything that quite Ricky my Tiki like that.
They may have the same bartender, so you may want to call McCormick and Smith and ask the bartender what were the ingredients in that. You
Oh,
know,
it was a couple of years ago. And
still,
these people, yeah, maybe, but and I have to go. I went to the one over off of El Segundo in was that Manhattan Beach?
yeah, man, yeah,
Yeah, not too far from what's that other place that I like to go to?
Houston's,
Right on the tip of my tongue, Manhattan Beach, El Segundo, Fleming's.
Fleming's,
That's
yeah.
my other place. Yeah,
Oh, Fleming's got, yeah, that's where I go. I like the
yeah,
Fleming potatoes.
yeah,
Fleming
yeah.
potatoes are amazing,
They
but
and their lemon drop is stupid. Are you
oh,
a
yeah.
drinker?
No, I'm not a drinker, so I don't
Oh
know.
yeah, oh yeah. Their lemon drop is. I'm not a drinker either, but yeah, there's a couple of things I like.
Okay, and the bread at McCormick and Smith's,
Okay.
the cheese bread,
See, I'm not a bread eater. I'm
oh
good.
my gosh, yeah, it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. So,
Mm.
the phone. Let me open the phone. The phone lines are open, guys. So feel free to call in. Hey, 2 days in a row, two rappers got shot and murdered. Are you up on it? Familiar with the
I
story?
know. I know of the King Von or
Yeah,
Von King.
yeah, King
I
Von.
know that he was shot and killed, and that they made an arrest.
Hmm.
Right, in his case, the other rapper, I don't know that name. Who was the other person?
I, I, you got to help me pronounce his name. Is his name Row 3 or Row with the E backwards? I don't know. I never heard of none of them until the past 2 days, but it it raises a lot of questions. You know what I mean? Yeah,
How so?
because of the culture of hip hop and how it perpetuates that lifestyle, how it perpetuates like I got a gun, oh you got a gun, I got a bigger gun, you got a bigger gun, okay I got two of them. You know what I mean? And how that translates into it's called his name is Mo 3. Thank you, Mo 3. Thanks guys. And how it translates into the streets and
Yeah, I think because these guys are up and coming, right? They're fairly young, right? Probably
yeah.
millennials, and so they just like every generation. If you weren't around for bell bottoms, and then when they come out with them and they call them flare leg, you think it's something big and new, right? And you want to partake of it. And so these guys, obviously were probably not even born when folks were beefing back in the day,
Mhm.
right? And then figured out why are we it doesn't make sense.
Right.
And somehow they didn't get that memo that y'all don't really have to do this.
Mm.
There's no shame, but I'm an old lady, but I tell my kids there is no shame in walking away from a confrontation. It don't make, in my mind, it don't make you less than, whatever, because, I have four sons and I tell them all the time, even if you guys get into a fight with somebody and nobody's going to let you beat their ass and just say, yeah, you got me.
Mhm.
You got me. They're going to go to the car or they going to go get a friend and they're going to shoot you because these kids don't fight anymore. When I was growing up, we fought. You know, it was a badge of honor. You kick my ass today, I got you tomorrow. Guys and girls, right? But these folks don't fight. They want to shoot. And that is just, when you see someone, and I don't know this young man's potential, but that was somebody's son,
Yeah.
and he's gone now for what?
That's
You
what I
know,
see.
he may have been an amazing artist and may have done big things, and he's gone for what?
Yeah. Yeah. I just don't think from the top level, I work my way backwards. Feel free to call in. Taekwon wants to call in. The numbers on the screen. Or you feel free to beam in if you like. I got you, Eli, coming up right now. Okay, good. I got him. So I'll make my point after we get to the beam ins. Perfect. You like this?
Fuck Donald Trump.
You like that, Sarge?
Salute.
What's up? What's up?
Sergeant Dorsey, nothing but respect, Queen. Just love every time you come on, how strong of a presence you have.
Appreciate you.
Fred, nothing but respect, salute, man.
Appreciate
just creating the platform and what you give us night in, the energy
it.
every day.
Love.
You know, uh, for me, this hit more closer to home
Mm,
because my wife is a close friend of one of Mo3's cousins.
mm,
And a year and a half ago, mentioned this. I was just on Reggie platform, and I mentioned this while we were sitting at a bar at one of our birthday celebrations. I was like, man, that little dude gonna die if he don't fuck around and get his shit right because he beefing and getting into it with everybody.
oh,
And his
really?
cousin got pissed off at me. I mean, went off.
Mm,
And I was like, why you going off? She's like, that's my motherfucking cousin. I'm just being candid right now. You know, that's my cousin. And I was like, well, he keep getting into it with everybody. And this shit is touching home because I can only imagine how she feel right now, you know. And this city is one of those cities that everybody think they look at the architecture of the city, they look at how everything going in Dallas and stuff, and they think, oh, it's sweet. Oh, people not standing up, black people not standing up. No, black people here are different. It's not like that. Like we don't take a lot of shit that people think that we take. It's not all them TV shows and everything. You know, this shit is really crazy and really messed up. You know, the neighborhoods and the people. It's just like it's across America right now. You know, like I was saying on Reggie Owens show, real is real no matter where you are. You got real people that are woke, that are really looking and vibing at everything no matter where you are in life. You know, nightly, daily, you got what 35,000 viewers that view your videos plus. You know, within the community, it's over 250,000 people that view these videos. A lot of times, we all saying the same things. We all looking at the same things, but a lot of times, for our own perspective in our own regions, we view things a little bit different as far as how we voice them. But we all got struggles. These young rappers and this generation and what they growing up through, they rationalize a lot of things. It's not logical of what they thinking. It's more like what they rationalize. Like logically, you can say that's not reality. You know, what you thinking, what you going through, what you saying you going through, that's not reality. You know, you don't have to be a killer. You just made $1 million last week. You know, in perspective, the Black Lives Matter shit. When we look at it, we say, man, we don't really believe in that Black Lives Matter stuff because right now they got a homosexual agenda going out. So what we say, man, we don't believe in that because the reality of it is you either a man or a woman. You know, a lot of times we take from ourselves in these communities and what we're really going through because all of this stuff, the vibe that we all putting down and the vibe that we all putting on, you know, when you're a man, you're a man. You need to stand up and protect and hold down your fort and do what you're supposed to. When you're a woman, you're a woman. You know, you need to have the essence of a woman. You nurture, you care for, you bring up. You have a place in life. It's not a place that degrades you as a woman. It's not a place that degrades you as a man because you're a protector. Man, I don't want to protect everybody. No, bro. That's God created you like that. And excuse me if everybody don't believe in God. That's not my whole thought process. But this is how we were birthed in nature. Men are naturally stronger than women for a reason. Women are naturally more nurturing for a reason. In our households, when that was taken from us in the 80s, the 90s, the Joe Biden, when Sleepy Joe and all that stuff, when we say that shit real. Even though I voted Democratic and voted like that, I still understand it. When Ice Cube say what he say in those in his contract, I get it completely because That's what we talk about daily in our households, in our life. You know, we as a whole need to start coming together for our kids to see, our generations to see, for us to stand strong again. Because one thing right now, we giving up reality. Because we got women fighting separate for women's rights. We got men fighting separate for their rights. We not fighting for the black family no more. We not fighting for reality no more. Everybody in this cartoon ass world, this Disney Channel ass world, to where we fighting for our own selves. If you know who you are, you be solid in who you are. You can be solid in who you are and still stand for something that's outside of you. I'm not gonna down nobody for who they are. That's the problem about this world. These young rappers that's coming up right now, what they doing is they trying to get clout and build up off the next man being crabs in the barrel. And then when it actually come to them and it hit home, you got a generation of kids that's looking at it like, my uncle was a killer. He went to the penitentiary. My uncle was a dope dealer. He went to the penitentiary. My daddy was a dope dealer. He went to the penitentiary. Shit, I go to penitentiary. I had a little kid when I was probably 22, 23 years old, living hard, living out here bad. Little kid told me, he said, my uncle said, you ain't a man unless you go to the penitentiary. That's what he said. We was in the hood, in the middle of nowhere, the same place that Mo 3 came from. That man say, you ain't. His uncle told him, you ain't a man unless you go to penitentiary. Because you don't know what it is to scrape and survive. You know why he said that? Because in the 80s, these motherfuckers put drugs in our communities and took jobs away from us, made us fight and scrape and claw for jobs. And we ain't create no more ourselves as men. We didn't understand the scope. Like when you say creating generational wealth, Fred, when you say you trying to teach Lincoln another way of economics, I understand why you would vote for Trump. I understand why black men will vote for Trump. I get it. But it's not voting for Trump, it's voting for a Republican Party that has more of your interest as an economic interest at value. I just couldn't vote for him because he's a fucking racist. And I don't get down with that. But I do get it. More of our jobs back coming back to here, and more of us looking at our jobs as a perspective of shit. We are now more in demand versus having to try to fight for a job. If you're in demand, that means you have a economic profile that says, I'll pay you more to come here. Because we have so many jobs open right now, we fighting for employees versus jobs that are getting shipped out and going overseas. And now you fighting for a job. It's a difference in the two. I understand it. But at the same time, us as a black community, regardless, we can demand that from a Republican or a Democrat. But we need them fighting. We need to prepare our next candidate. And what we gonna do? We need to look at our community and teach our kids reality and teach them what's going on. These kids right now, from the new millennials, Generation Z, as my 12-year-old daughter I always say, and down, they don't get it. They are not trying to be part of their ancestral heritage. They're trying to be individuals. And them trying to be individuals, they in this Disneyland, who drew it on a book, make it up as it comes, state of mind. They'll make up whatever. They'll identify with whatever they feel like in a day's time, whatever their group feel like in a day's time. If you're a woman, you're a woman. If you're a man, you're a man. As a black woman and black man, we need to do better about our families. Because the things that we doing right now, this shit not hashing out. This is why we so disturbed. You got black women being forced to raise black families by themselves and figure this shit out and try to raise black men and try to raise black women, but they got to act more dominant themselves. You got black men that's really being submissive to the fact that you being overtaken. This shit fucked up, and we got to look at it for real. These young rappers, Entrepreneurs, kids, generation, our generation, we all got to come together as one. We can't blame it. We can't blame each other. We got to look at what the systematic destruction is that we face with and really acknowledge it and come together. Because every time we look up, every time we get a leader, they always want to be that one person that shine above the rest. That say my way is the best way. No, it's multiple ways to do it. And it's multiple things that need to be done. We just have to look at each other. I just wanted to come in and say, Sergeant Dorsey, nothing but respect and love for you, man, ma'am. And I appreciate everything that you do, Fred. I appreciate everything that you do. You know, we have a lot of perspectives to cover, but we have to view ourselves in a whole open spectrum as this is what we are as Black people. This is where we need to go. And we, not I, think we should. We need to go here as Black women, Black men, Black people, Black communities need to go here because that's what this is. This is a Black community. And we need to speak on the topic and really represent it and really represent it together because the problem is we separating ourselves. We want to be too strong of a Black woman. We want to be too strong of a Black man. We want to be too strong of a Black person outside of what the real community value is. We spend too many dollars in America to not be represented in this spectrum of what America is. You know, so that's my thoughts. That's all I wanted. I didn't have no questions. I just had thoughts I wanted to spit out, Fred. I appreciate y'all. Salute. I'm out.
Appreciate you. Thanks, Eli. And condolences. I know on behalf of Sarge and I, condolences, Taquan, on your loss of your friend, for sure. For sure. Yeah, it's heart-wrenching.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it's
a lot.
I just missed the super chat. Okay, Dre's Finest, you jumped in here, huh? What's up, fam? Much love and respect. Hey, Sarge.
Hey, Dre.
Hey. You know, oh, okay, well, I'll have to get it in a second. This is all, that's all for you. You and Reggie. That's for you and Reggie all week. You and Reggie all week. What's up?
Yo, what up, Fred?
What's up?
What's going on?
How you feel, Mike?
Hello, Sergeant Dorsey.
Hey, how are you?
Yeah, I made a comment last week. I didn't want to disrespect you. I made that comment about what I say. I didn't. How do we hold them accountable? There was no disrespect towards you. It was more like we gave our leverage up front. Now we got to hope that we hold them accountable.
Well, no, I mean, we can absolutely hold them accountable. I mean, we can do that. We can, you know, they're in, right? So now no more empty promises. And we need to get on it like today, right? January 20th at 12 o'clock, right now. Don't wait, you know, till they, you know, are in office for 2 years. And now there's maybe well, you know, that'll be the next term. No, fuck that. Right now, January 20th, let's go. You guys already know what's up. They know what the problem is. But, you know, at the end of the day, the system does what it's designed to do. For real.
Yeah. All right, these kids running around here killing each other today. These are the product of Joe Biden's crime bill. These kids with no father, no structure at home, mother raised on welfare. They just run around here killing each other with no sense of human life. It's like, and then we turn around here and vote for him again. Hopefully he do the right thing and start incentivizing like Black family homes to rebuild the homes. That can be a way of reparations within itself. Start incentivizing the homes, rebuilding the homes. Like if any Black family that's a descendant of, I guess, slavery, you gotta start somewhere. Where do you start? You gotta start in your household. And you see with the Democrats, they try to separate the damn homes. They build up Black women so strong, whereas though there's no point of having a Black man in the home. and it's like killing off our family within itself, and we don't even know it. You have something to say on that before we keep going forward?
No, I think I believe in the butterfly effect. So if a butterfly flaps his wings in New Zealand, it will have an impact in America. You know what I mean? And it's something that we have to be honest with ourselves about as it pertains to us being civilians in this country. And I think that the creating comfort a lot of times supersedes the pros and the cons and the reality of living in America on some levels. Did that answer your question?
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
All right, now let me move forward. It was importance in having Donald Trump. A lot of people don't want to like admit it, but it was an importance. It kept people on their toes. It was like basically you was forced to look at racism right in his face. There's no tap dancing around it. There was no skipping around it. There was no running around it. It forced us to be on our toes. It forced us to protest and uprise where it got Karen laws passed. Basically, I think it was one out there in California that got passed. It was supposed to be one in New York that got passed. Well, you already know. Cuomo wasn't having it. It forced reparations to be on the table as a talk. So I mean, it was an importance in Donald Trump. It was more like if you go back and listen to Malcolm X about house nigga field Negro, Donald Trump was that person that was pouring gasoline on America, setting America on fire. And yeah, he was pouring gasoline on America, setting America on fire. You got some black people that wanted to put the fire out, and some black people wanted to let that shit just burn. Basically, you got to destroy the system before you could even like go forward. Some people want to destroy the system itself. Let Donald Trump burn it all the fuck down, fuck it all up, and start from ground zero. Fuck it up as much as possible. Hopefully, we can rebuild on top of that. You got some people that just want to be comfortable. They don't like his personality. They just want to be comfortable within the system. They don't like his personality. But yeah, that's it. Black people just want to go back to sleep. They want to be comfortable. I mean, they scared to be on their toes. It's nothing more that Donald Trump could do to you than fucking Obama did to you. It's nothing more. It's basically the same thing. If you're black and you live in America, same thing happening to you. I don't know if it's a comfort level. You got black people out there twerking in the street because of Joe Biden, calling them Uncle Joe. It's sad. It's disgusting. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I can't say where do we go from here. And if we're gonna hold them accountable, I mean, yeah, I just hopefully he do something correct and just not dedicate all his time to gays and women, which is white women, and things like that. It's like sometimes you gotta let the shit burn and burn out before we can rebuild. That's what I call it, Fred.
Appreciate you.
When I'm on the phone.
Do you think we're gonna get complacent, Sarge?
Yeah.
Well, here's the key. Go ahead, because
I mean, that's what we do. We get all soft and cozy and warm, and it don't take long to get there. We are forgiving. We want to let bygones be bygones, and I say stupid stuff on Facebook. Like when I heard Ben Carson, had COVID, I said, "Look at God." And somebody said, "Oh, your theology, but that, is par for the course for you." Or, I'm going to pray for him. And I'm like, fuck them, because they're not praying for us. Why we got to be nice? Why we got to turn the other cheek? Why we got to look the other way? And And the Republicans right now are fearful that they might lose the majority in the Senate. And what are they saying? Oh, we need to come together. We need to work. We need to, we need to. But when they have their boot on our neck, it's like, you complaining about what?
Right. Right. Right.
And then as soon as they take the boot off our neck, we're like, they did something. No, they should have done that. What they were doing to us was fucked up. And so they took the boot off and we're happy.
Right. Yeah, we're happy with that. That's it. Let me
Or,
get to
they just take a little pressure. They don't really take the boot off. They just ease up a little bit and we're happy.
Yeah,
Out of here.
big facts.
The
Eric,
way I feel about this is I all I can control is this little 6 feet around me and the 4 people I brought into this world. That's it.
Eric Jenkins. Give me a second, Rez. Eric Jenkins, words of wisdom. Salute Eli. Taquan, thank you, Fred. I walk out the funeral. Yeah, it's yeah, I got a friend that's going through something right now as well. Taquan, the system of white supremacy is the problem. And let me make sure that's okay. That's it. Let me bring Reg in and then I got the B-Men's coming. Hang in there, TB, and hang in there.
Yeah, fuck Donald Trump.
Hey, what's up, Mike?
What's up, man? I want to add comments on this one, man. And now my thing is like when people come with complacency, like there's no way of people thinking like this. It's crazy when I hear people speak on this democratic process and presidential process that we speak on needing, chaotic bigots like Donald Trump to keep people awake and inspired. And that just shows me the deep level of how lost people are to even believe that. I mean, we should want to live in chaos to be awakened. The other thing, like coming out, what stems into kind of the communal issues. We don't pay attention to communal issues. We're quick to want to attack to what we see openly within the societal issues. But sometimes we need to take these slower approaches to shit, slow shit down, especially with our youth. Our youth out here is lost. And where they're lost is because the parents are lost. It ain't just the kids. The kids are a reflection of everything that surrounds them. When the men are lost, when the women are lost, what are they supposed to do? The process of aging doesn't stop. You cannot slow that. You cannot put it on pause. It's going to be a continuous process. And if all they're eating is the delusion from adults, then they remain with this delusion. You have women who are still seeking love in adulthood and not paying attention to these young kids, looking for the next man who can love and soothe her because that kind of place in her heart has been missing. Being a lot of women go through a lot of things, and I understand that. But at some point, when children are brought into the frame, you have to push these things away, and we're seeing that. And all of this hip hop community, this new age of hip hop community, it's like the approaches to lyrics is like some way out ish, like. Everything, this life imitating art is really playing out into the death of a lot of these kids. Constant conflict. I'm gonna kill this and That is way out-ish. You don't see this type of approaches to how people engage and interact with each other in no form of music. And the reason why you don't see it because there's no kind of lyrical content that addresses drama, beef, and bloodshed. It's only in this hip hop thing, but it comes out of a community that also kind of supports that. And that was like what Eli was saying, when kids see certain narratives pitched around, and I've seen this firsthand. And if I almost became a victim can I say a victim, or almost became a part of it, because you buy into it. It becomes cool when you're hearing cats talk about killing folks. That's all you hear. Robbing, coming up with the next scheme of how to get over on folks. The next group that's behind that is going to escalate that. You have to outdo. You have to become a better. I want to become a better killer, a killer with more, more names up under my belt. We want to escalate this type of issue. And that's the type of shit we got to stop. We can't just use systematic racism as our crutch for shit. We understand that. Now we have to deal with the approaches to it. And also in these communities that don't have nothing, where you come from poor communities, everybody's in a rush to go out and get it. We the only ones into this kind of materialistic type shit, needing the best of brands. We clown each other based on what we look at. We clown the young kids. We do this at childhood. And our kids just doing that? No, a lot of kids who are doing that are getting that from the adults who are around them, who are fashionable, materialistic type people. And the way we go about each other is we tear each other down. And this shit begins in the infancy of us, because a lot of the adults that surround us, they lack the skills of understanding how to develop community. We have our own communities to where we can kind of go about defeating the system that goes about trying to defeat us. But when we don't recognize that shit, we just only around to destroy each other. We see that. We come, like we was talking about earlier in my stream, where we was talking about the jungles and all this and how beautiful the jungles is. My first experience of going in the jungles, before I ever knew what the jungles was, I always heard about how wild it was, how crazy it was. And the first time I ever went in there, I didn't even know I was in the jungles. I thought what I was going up into was where white folks live, and then come to find out, oh, this the BPS Bloods. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, man, I need to get up out of here. But then I'm tripping like, damn, this look nice. But the people here don't value none of this shit. They don't value when the people, black folks start fucking migrating through the certain communities of LA, the Comptons, the Watts, the South Central LA, how central we are to everything. We in the prime of everything across all of America, the Chicago's, Detroit, where black folks reside. You're in the prime of everything, but you devalue the damn neighborhood. You central to everything. And that's why people want to come back into this. We got to learn to stop bloodshed. And even in our cities that are becoming gentrified, the same level of violence thing happening to the new arrivals. We know how to keep guns cool on them. So what separates them? They're in your neighborhood, blah, blah. But it just shows the real ill shit that's going on. It starts with us. We know what the system is. We can defeat what's going on with the system. But when certain narratives aren't being addressed, the approaches to teaching people how to love each other aren't being addressed, you're going to constantly have these issues to where these kids can no longer function. How does kid end up on a goddamn freeway? This how ill the approaches and deep level of self-hatred people have, that you see a person on a damn freeway, they chase each other on the freeway, and you killed this damn kid. And that's how wild and crazy this shit is. And that kid, if y'all remember that kid, you seen the Mike Tyson interview with Bootsy, that's the kid who was on there with Bootsy from like 2 weeks ago. That's the kid who got killed. Killed him on a freeway. Our levels of how we escalate in the death and murder these people are getting wild, brazen as hell, and people don't give a damn. But that's my whole thing, man. We got to start with us. We can't blame it on who's going to put us to sleep, because obviously motherfuckers are already asleep. Can't no Trump wake you up. Can't no Biden put you to sleep. Our communities are already asleep, and we have to address that. The same way we address where we hate to hear cops shooting our people in the back. Shit, our own people shooting each other in the back, and we tend to not want to address it, because you know why? Most people are scared of these people who create this damn carnage within our neighborhoods. You terrify these people because it shows the pussy in a lot of us. But we rather address shit that we know won't attack back. That's my whole call, man. I'm gonna continue to listen in, but I'll catch you guys.
Appreciate you. I'm interested. All right, I'm very interested in your take on that, because you were in law enforcement, SARS. But let's get to the B-mans and we'll work backwards a little bit. Is that cool?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, fuck Donald Trump.
What's up?
Hey man, why you be putting that on me, man? Don't push me, man.
How little Caesar doing?
Oh, he good. He sleep right now. He bugging me about this PS5, man. He pressing me about that shit.
Hey, when it come out?
Tonight.
Oh damn!
Oh, he pressing me, man. It ain't even wait for Christmas.
I gotta get one. I gotta get one.
He pressing me about it.
I get one at some point. What's up, Mike?
But I mean, to touch bases on the subject, man, as far as these new rappers go, it's like they don't understand and manifesting, like lyrically manifesting that into their life. Like Mo3, I saw a music video. He was like laying on a slab in the morgue, and he basically just described his death. Like,
really?
And saying, I mean, even back in the day, Pac did that with I Ain't Mad at You. That video.
No.
Yeah. And I mean, people need to understand the energy they put out there and the words and what they really say when they speak. When they get in front of that microphone, I think Farrakhan said a song is more powerful than a speech. You know what I'm saying? Because it's gonna play about millions of times, you know? And a lot of rappers have been lyrically just been rapping about. I know they've been rapping about their situation and what they experience and what they've been around, but they really need to understand, like, if you speak prosperity, then you're gonna be prosperous, you know. But if you constantly speaking death,
right,
it's gonna knock on your door, you know. I mean, even Nipsey described his death to a T. I think it was the Hustler's Way.
Mm-hmm.
He did. If you listen to the Hustler's Way, he described his death to a T. So, I mean, I really think, you know, these rappers should be conscious. Like Von's situation, being from Chicago, I kind of understand that. Von wasn't a good kid by far. You know what I'm saying? He was real active. He was like one of them active guys. And I mean, the glorifying of death in Chicago is insane. Like, I mean, my little homies had beef with that side, with Von's side. But, you know, even when Duck died, Von was very disrespectful, you know, said a lot of very disrespectful things.
Wow.
As far as dissing the dead, it's crazy. Like, I mean, when rappers die in Chicago, you'll start to see other people say, peep the score. See, they keeping a tally of who's dying, what side, who's killing more people on this side than that score.
Damn.
So, and then they starts talking about they smoking ops. Like a lot of people is posting they got a Von pack. The dispensaries just dropped the Von pack. So, you know, I mean, and not to give Von, because Von was doing that situation too when FBG Duck died. He was saying, you know, smoking on Duck. That's a Chicago thing. It's crazy. So it's really hard to kind of.
Is that positive when they say I'm smoking on Duck, or is negative? Oh, it's negative.
First, it started with Tuka. Yeah, it's a long story, a long situation. But when they say they smoking on somebody, they smoking an op. So that's not positive at all.
So it's not like pouring out a little liquor. Speaking of pot, right?
No. It actually, from what I've heard, it started with, I guess the Outlaws said they smoked some of Pac's ashes. And there was a 15-year-old kid named Tuka in Chicago that got killed. Now his factions was from 63rd, and they would say they were smoking Tuka, but the enemy faction would say it too, that they were smoking Tuka. So it just really escalated. It really just escalated, and kept escalating. So where we at now? Von died in a split second from fighting somebody to the next situation, just getting gunned down. So that didn't happen because of his beefs in Chicago, but his energy was always
on go.
On go. Yeah, he had a battery in his back for sure. So, I mean, and then like that's what I'm saying. These people manifested. Like Von, I think not 2 weeks ago, he had said, "When I die, I'm a beat up Tuka." Like, you know what I'm saying? When you die, you worried about beating up somebody, you know? And his girlfriend had said, "A nigga got to have 3 bodies to be my boyfriend or something. All I fuck with is killers." You know what I'm saying? So it's a mental thing, you know. And these tweets and these messages they put out about 2 weeks ago. So you putting a lot of that energy in the air for it to just come back on you, you know. So I don't know. I just wanted to touch bases on that.
Appreciate you.
On the Von situation. I don't know what's going on in Louisiana with that little boy, because that shit is crazy. That's some new ill shit going on in Louisiana right now.
Yeah, Mr. Charles, man, for sure.
Yeah, we definitely got to be cognizant out here and be on point, because it's a lot of white folks that's upset about Trump losing this election, because I guess he went and kicked it with his white homeboy and his mom, and 2 days later he found in a field or something. That shit looked just like Emmett Till, the picture.
Yeah, the whole country needs to be on the uprising. The whole fucking.
What's up, Sarge? My bad. You know, what's happening?
I'm good. I'm good. Just taking it all in. It's a lot.
Yeah, it's yeah, that's why we're gonna do something about it. I'm gonna do my best.
Yeah, I like the layout, the map.
Oh, I appreciate it. We're gonna do our best.
I like the map.
Yeah, we're gonna do our best, Sarge. We got to. Like, it's much is given, much is required, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna
All
do
right.
something.
Well, yeah. I'm gonna get on up out of here.
Appreciate you.
All right. Appreciate you.
All right. He's the only one in the barber shop that has a sound for a nickname.
Oh, is that the?
Yeah.
Oh, don't put that on me, man. Don't put that energy on me, man.
Appreciate it. What's up? Oh,
I
yeah.
need the Twilight Zone sound, man. I like them type of scary shit. I like that psychological shit.
Okay, all right. Yeah. You more of a serial killer anyway.
All right.
Peace. Yeah, man. It's when is a Sarge, like when is a good time to have honest conversations? You know what I mean? Like, because
With who about what?
about this, what's going on? Like, 2 rappers get killed. Like, when is a good time to have this conversation? Because if you have this because I don't like buffering and like if it was a perfect world, I would want to have this conversation right now because it's in everybody's face right now, right?
Yeah,
But
well, I mean, I think it needs to be topical, right? It needs to be when it's going on, and you can't really get caught up. You know, when you step out, of your comfort zone, or when you just step out, you really can't worry about who's going to be bothered, right?
Right.
Thus, your agreement is not required, right? Because somebody, no matter the time, is going to think that it's either too soon or is not enough time has passed or that was then and this is now. And so you just have to be moved by what moves you. And then if it resonates with someone, fine. And if not, not.
Right.
But clearly, if you continue to do the same thing, you'll get the same result.
Mm-hmm.
You can't pretend this isn't happening and that there isn't a consequence for choices.
Right.
It said earlier, and I don't know if it was you or someone else that this needs to start in the home, and I get that parents are stressed and working and 2-3 jobs and but listen, I was latchkey. My parents worked, I was the TV was my babysitter, and so you can overcome that. You can do better in spite of. That doesn't have to be the reason why. It's all about choices.
It's all about choices. Right. Mike Weary's the great says this is the importance of fatherhood. Shaking my head. And I want to ask you that, Sarge, when you were working in Los Angeles, was there a huge absence of fatherhood, and could you see the difference in, I'm talking about on a macro level, not on an independent basis, but just as you're looking at it from 50,000 feet, just at a quick glance, could you see the difference in a child without knowing their situation if he had a father or didn't have a father? So, for example, you see a kid walking down the street, and were they algorithms different?
I can have an opinion, based on, but then I'm, that is that right? You know what I mean? Because I don't know your situation, but I think that was the beginning. I think that was the beginning of the end, right? Because that was, when drugs were a big deal, crack and people were starting to go to, prison a lot and be absent from the home. And then it has just progressed to this thing that we have now. So I think during my time on the department, that was the beginning of it. It was starting. and now we're here. And I don't know how you unring, you know, it's generational. I mean, it didn't get like this overnight, and so obviously it's not going to be fixed overnight. But folks need to, everybody has a part to play. The onus is on each of us to
Right.
have conversations with our young people early. I think I've always thought this of my own kids. I think really by the time, and it's so important with little boys because I have 4 sons, so that's all I really know. But I think by the time a child is 7 or 8, they are who they are.
Mm.
That's what I think. You got about 7 or 8 years to get it right because, by the time they get to 10, my boys, they had an opinion. And, it was incumbent upon me to make sure that I was molding those opinions early on. And I did the best that I could um, with their dad being around. That certainly played a part. But you're a man, and when y'all get, 13, 14, especially my oldest son, because he was like my science project. I didn't know what the heck I was doing with that guy. I was a young man. He was my first. And I told him from like 13 to 17, I didn't even like him because that time is critical. And so much happens in a child's life between 13 and 17. And if you haven't laid that foundation in my mind by 7 or 8, well, it's a crapshoot.
Yeah, I bet.
And I don't think people are paying attention. I don't know if these young people realize when you have a child, that's a whole human being. That's a real person that you're responsible for. And they can go left or right, totally dependent upon you.
Hmm. Yeah, you're right. Like where the great double downs and says we got to do a show on manhood and fatherhood ASAP. I agree. I definitely agree. And it ain't got to be like a, a one shot pony neither, man. It's just I just you know that Quan Charles situation. I mean, it's just now hit the internet to me today within the past couple hours. Something like that should flip flop America. You know what I mean? But if it's not visual, you know what I mean? And this is why a piece of me believes that white liberals control our outrage. They could, from the media perspective, from these civil rights organizations and stuff like that. I genuinely believe like they 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 put stuff in us to force us to react in a certain manner because man, looking at that picture, man, it just ain't right. You know what I mean?
Well,
It's just
there's a lot that we don't know. I was reading that as we were coming on.
mhm,
And, so this is a 15-year-old kid who supposedly left with a 17-year-old kid, white kid in the South. And so, you got to be cognizant of where you live,
yeah.
right? You gotta know where you live and not be stupid.
Mhm,
Pay attention.
yeah. Right.
I don't want to prejudge or second guess.
Yeah.
This is a 15-year-old kid who left with a 17-year-old white kid and his mom. And the article that I was reading said that the mother was upset because he should not have left with this kid. So I don't know what that was all about. If
Mm,
if she didn't want him hanging out with this kid, or she had a bad feeling about the mother, number one, did you articulate that to your son, and why would he go with them, or did they take him? Right?
mhm,
He's 15. Um, how does that happen? Where was mom when he left? And then, I mean, there's so many things that we don't know. We know, according to the article, that when mom found out her son was gone, she tried to report him missing, and the police were lackadaisical about it. Now, you know what would have happened if it would have been a 15-year-old white girl missing. they would have had officers doing a grid search looking for her, and they
Yeah.
didn't do that for this kid. And so, what's that all about? What's going on with that police agency? What's the interaction with them and that Black community? There's much that we're going to be finding out over the next few days for
Right.
sure. So it's kind of hard to really speak on it. But when shoot, my kids are grown, and sometimes I'm asking them, "Where you going? What you doing?" Because it's the time that we live in,
Mhm.
and you just can't take anything for granted. And you need to know. I'm grown completely. But when I go somewhere, I tell my sons, "Hey, I'm going over here," and I found out there's a way that I can hit. My girlfriend jokes with me because, she'll tell me when I'm out, catting around, checking traps. Hit She'll say, hit a cell tower, just, in case I wind up in a damn 50-gallon drum somewhere, people knew where I am along the way. I mean, I'm a grown woman, but I still can't just be out here willy-nilly and not being accountable to others to
Right.
make sure people know where I am, and that I'm in a good place, and that I'm not being taken advantage of um, because somebody caught me lunching or because I made a poor choice.
Right.
And so we certainly, I think sometimes these parents worry about being friends to their kids. I used to tell mine, I keep a search warrant, joking, but I will come in your room and tear shit up. You can't be in my house and me not know what's going on. I'm not worried about offending you. And again, having sons, my thing always was, what you not gonna be is 6 foot anything, 180 pounds in my house and me scared of you. That's what you're not gonna be. And I think parents a lot of times are too caught up wanting to be friends with them.
Sure.
You know, um, I think I think a little fear, particularly from a father, is healthy. You
Mm.
know, I know I couldn't at some point. I could talk a lot of mess, but my sons be like, "Little lady,
Yeah.
really?" You
Right.
know. But what you don't want me to do is get on the phone and call a Tasmanian devil. That's their dad.
Yeah. Hmm.
That's what you don't want. And so, the threat of that
Right.
kept them in line. And I think it's important. I think it's important um, to have that healthy fear of that male presence. And I think women need to be mindful about the kind of people that you bring around your children.
Right.
You can't just have anybody up over your children, boys or girls. So there's a lot of dynamics, there's a lot of factors.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. For sure. We got TB coming in, and I don't want to misappropriate my what I just said. I'm a firm believer in accountability, but I know how like mass media can do a lot of propaganda. You know what I mean? That can make us lead certain amount of people who, because that's what they lean on. You come home from work, you cut on Channel 9 News, 5 News, you have dinner, you watch the Lakers, and you fall asleep. That's typical. That's what I mean, I'm not saying it's typical, but I did that when I was a school teacher. Grade some papers, listen to Big Boy, whoever I'm listening to, cut on the Laker game, watch the Channel 9, 11 o'clock news, and fall asleep. That's my life. That was my life as a school teacher more often than not. And so they don't come to, and they don't really know of and or have the time to research independent media outlets such as mine, such as Sergeant Dorsey, such as yours, Reg. So they just get into a cycle. And it's not that they don't know. That's just all they know. So
But
that's
you know what? When you know better, like they say, when you know better, you do better, right? And
right.
sometimes it's good to I don't even watch the news. I don't watch the local news. I watch cable, but
Yeah.
I only consumed 2 hours. That's
Mhm.
all I do. I got a couple of programs that I like that I think give me the real and not entertain me. Rachel Maddow is one because her research team is phenomenal.
Mhm.
And I watch her, and then I watch Lawrence O'Donnell. And then after that, I'm watching Animal Planet. But we need to get in the habit I would do this with my sons. I would kind of joke with them, but I would say, I need 12 minutes. Just sit down and give me 12 minutes. Just me and you. I need to look you in your eyeball and we need to talk. I need to know how your day was. I want to tell you how my day was. And we do that even now sometimes. We need to make sure that we're paying attention to the things that matter, family,
Right.
and quit looking for games and um, television to raise our children and
Right.
influence them. And then when they, go left, everybody's, clutching their pearls and wondering how did that happen? Well, hell, when's the last time you had a conversation with your child? Do you know who their friends are? I don't know if your mom was like this. I couldn't have a friend. My mom didn't know their parents. You don't go to nobody's house if I don't know their parents. And now we have people coming and picking our kids up and taking them somewhere and you don't know who they are? How does that happen?
Right. We got TB coming in.
Yeah, fuck Donald Trump.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Hey, how you doing? How you doing, sir?
Doing good. How are you?
All right. The other brother that beamed in that was talking about say he's from Chicago. That was some heavy stuff, man. And this young brother down south. I haven't even heard about that yet. I just heard about that just on here. And he equated that to Emmett Till. Is that bad?
Oh,
When
yeah.
you see the picture,
Man, it's
you
gruesome.
can Google it. Yeah, it looks like his face is disfigured. I don't know if he was burned or beat up, but they're trying to say he drowned. He didn't drown.
Yeah, I'm gonna look into that. But that's So I mean, with that, when he was saying that, the first thing I thought about was um, the reaction from his mother. What his mother's going to have to do is his mother's going to have to do the same thing Emmett Till's mother did. That brought that brought it to national attention. She and she's going to have to push the issue. I think the problem with us, just like one of y'all said, that we too forgiving. But the thing about that is we forgive white folk, we don't forgive each other. We'll hold a grudge against one of our own. You know what I'm saying? We'll be in the ground holding a grudge, and the person we're holding a grudge against is up here walking around living life, ain't thinking about you. You know what I'm saying? So we don't have that consistency. We don't keep that same energy. You know what I'm saying? We'll hate against each other, but we don't do it to the ones that's actually really, really hating on us that can actually affect our standard of living. And the people also have a short memory when it comes to Donald Trump. You remember what happened when he first got elected? When they said, we needed somebody said we needed somebody like Donald Trump in order to keep us on our toes and other. No. When Donald Trump got elected, he brought out some of the worst in our own community. You know what I'm saying? He brought out the silk and diamonds. The minstrel show was on and popping. And if you remember what happened when Donald Trump first got elected, there were protests worldwide. Why people on the, you know what I'm saying? And we didn't keep that same energy until people started getting killed. It shouldn't take nobody getting killed to hold somebody accountable, but the world showed its outrage by Trump getting elected. Now you look at this Biden winning, and you got international leaders and presidents and kings and crown princes and prime ministers all saying, "Okay, now we can get back to business." So the world was waiting for this dude to go. And on my last point, we're talking about fatherhood and black family stuff like that. I hear a lot of people will talk about the crime bill. But the crime bill wasn't the only thing. I don't know when it happened because it's never actually happened to me. But social services. If a woman at some point, if a woman went to social services for assistance, certain states. I don't know if it's nationwide or what, but I know here in Maryland, it's a requirement that she has to file for. She has to take the father for the child up on child support because she applied for social service with the food stamps or whatever, and then that right there will cause a rift between a mother and a father that will affect the children. You know what I'm saying? Because in a lot of cases, so the guy will say, well, you know what? I'd rather get this money to you. Why I gotta deal with them? Because then my driver's license is on the line, the horse is on the line. I can go to jail, but I'd rather deal with you. And then if she's getting those services, the man can't live in the house. So they're basically paying this woman to keep the father of the children out of the house. You know what I'm saying? He can't live there. You know what I'm saying? Like Section 8. Fred, ain't supposed to be like a certain list of people that's supposed to be in that house. She getting Section 8 and she getting social services and she receiving child support. That family and more times than none, it's on bad feelings because brother's mad because she done ran uptown, and in a lot of cases, that the brother could have been paying for daycare, paying for Pampers, had the child every other weekend and every other week, and this and the other, but then he got a new woman. She shoot uptown. Some cases, the woman ain't even got the child. These are the things that I don't care what other community does it to. I don't care who in Kentucky it happens to, up in the hills of Kentucky, in Appalachia, and all that. I'm talking about our community. So you couple that with the crime bill, and then that on top of it. For those who don't go to jail, and try to take care of their families, and then fall on hard times. Just because you fall on hard times, you know what I'm saying, your family is under threat because you go to the government for help. That's all I got to say.
Appreciate you. Hey, sorry, there's so much trauma being black in America. My gosh, man, we went from this year alone, man, we went from Ahmaud Arbery, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, an election, and now we got this young king, Mr. Charles. God, this is 1 year.
That's just what we know. That's the stuff that made national news. What about the stuff we don't know?
Oh my gosh. Damn, like my God, God damn. Can we get a break?
Yeah, fuck Donald Trump.
What's up, man?
Yeah, I just wanted to touch on real quick. Well, how you doing, Sergeant Dorsey? Good evening.
Well.
Okay, it was good. Yeah, I just wanted to bring on to talk about King Von real quick and talk about how him passing away has sparked a series of events. There are several rappers, several VD, you know what I'm saying? GD, Vice Lord. There's a whole bunch of different gangs that are mad at T.I., all because T.I. was trying to do is say don't bring that to his city. And I do understand why people were quote unquote upset with him a little bit. And it's because of the whole, saying that, but then, he didn't keep that same energy back some years ago when he actually went to somebody else's city to try to beef with Floyd Mayweather. Remember that when T.I. was going hard on Floyd and trying to run up on him when the security was there and all that kind of shit. So people looking at it like he's a hypocrite, but at the same time, you got to remember, people get older and they grow. You understand what I'm saying? It's no different than Nipsey. There's some dudes I know, just like Rimpal will tell you. If you ever met Rimpal, he'll tell you Nipsey was out there about that I'll say 6 to 09 before he really, really got on. He was out there bad. And especially when they raided his studio, he went right back to the block, thugging it out, had a toolie on him and everything. So I try to tell people, let people grow, but at the same time, you are supposed to hold people accountable if they are being hypocrites as well. Do you understand what I'm saying, Fred? And some people cannot balance that out. They just think one extreme way or the other. And me, I like to try to bring a balanced approach to it because just like me, I've done a whole bunch of shit I'm not proud of. When I was a teenager, I was wild as a motherfucker. I'm surprised I'm still here for real. So, what I'm saying? My message is like, I wonder what is it going to take for us, because it's a pandemic and you wouldn't even know it because people don't give a damn. People still out here in each other's faces. We arguing with each other face to face, no mask on, throwing punches at each other, and somebody shooting somebody. Like, and then the thing is, people keep saying it didn't happen with King Von's house getting raided. It did actually happen. His own manager came on there and was talking about how fucked up it is and how he thought he had some real niggas around. He didn't have no real dudes around him. Them dudes was foul. Them dudes was just around him for clout. They was around him to try to see what they could get out of him. And look, this is how you know them dudes weren't real. Like my uncle used to always tell me, you see that dude right there? That's the winner right there. You protect the win. You protect your asset. You protect the king. Y'all might not like it. Y'all might want to be in his position, but goddamn it, this the person that's gonna get y'all to the bag. This the person gonna get y'all out the hood. You don't let him get shot. You don't let anything happen to him. What they do? They let him just get ran over. And then right when he was about to pass away, from what his sister said, damn, y'all let these niggas get me. You really let these niggas get me before he passed away. Y'all really let them get me. So that's sad. That as messed up as hood and street politics is, we can't even do nothing. Like we basically fumbled the bag, and then we complain about being back in the hood and shit. Fuck, just like Crenshaw looks horrible since Nipsey. I'm gonna keep it real. It looks terrible. That's just my opinion. The energy still don't feel the same, because at the end of the day, everybody around there know, like, damn, bro, we fumbled the motherfucker. We were supposed to protect him. You understand what I'm getting at, Fred?
I get it. I understand that logic.
But see, Fred, there's another thing too, though, man. People who ain't from the streets, they'll never understand street element. You understand what I'm saying? And I just really want people to understand that the only way you're gonna get to them is through resources. They gotta somehow have some way to feel like they can get out, some type of outlet. There's a reason why so many black men want to be rappers at such a young age. Even these 30-year-old dudes be wanting to be. I be seeing them popping up trying to be rappers. Everybody wants to get out of their situation. They think that's the fastest way to get it. But like you said, Fred, sometimes you're going to have to take the long road. You know what I'm saying? Just look at your road. When you wanted to be 20 or 21 or and blow up like King Von did, and then at the age of 26, you know, like he was on top of the world. I even saw a video of him in the hood, and his first check that he ever got, you hear me, Fred? Like the first check he ever got was like, I think like $25,000. He literally gave everybody, he broke everybody off for money. He didn't have to do that. Like that's he could have been like, nah, this is my money. But everybody that was in his crew, and even people that was just on the neighbor, he was breaking everybody off. Here go 300, here go 500. He didn't have to do that. So he was a good dude, but he had his own demons, because this is the thing I want to, before I close. He kept saying demon time. I was listening to his music. You know, when somebody passed, I do like to see what they had to say. And a lot of his music, demon time, demon time. I'm on demon time. You niggas can't mess with me. I'm on demon time. You keep saying that. You keep yelling that out. The energy that you put out there is what you will attract. And not only that, I mean, if that's what you really want, you understand what I'm saying? Because we all entitled to what we want. Just know there's some huge and dire consequences that come with what you want. And that's why we need OGs to teach that aspect. Yes, you're going to do what you want. You're going to rob, you're going to thug, you're going to kill, you're going to be a pimp, whatever you're going to do, just know that same energy you got to pay for on some type of level. You may not pay for it 5 years from now. You may not pay for it 10 years from now. You may pay through it through your children. What happens if your whole family gets shot up? Then what? Like a lot of people just, they so selfish, you understand? And I kind of get, I remember being 19 and 20 years old, and my mom would tell me, no, do right, and I'd be like, man, fuck what she talking about. I'm out here. I'm about that. Shit like Boosie, I'm out here about that. You know what I'm saying? I got that iron on me. I had that same ignorant ass mentality. I got that iron on me. You know, walking around with a motherfucking, you know what I'm saying, Glock 19 and shit. It's just sad that we put so much into these rappers. Instead of putting it into like people like RZA Islam, like Fred, like a 19 Keys, people who are, you know, they positive, they hip, they cool, but they on the right track. And they're very successful without having to knock somebody over their fucking head. Like, we just need more examples put out there into the forefront, instead of just all of these rappers being glorified. And that's what our youth goes to. That's why all the young girls, they want a dude that look like King Von. I saw when he passed away,
so many memes of chicks flipping. Oh, he's so fine. I want me a nigga that look just like that. He was the hoodest and most stuff. But you see what it got him. But people don't want to hear that, man. But like I said, in closing, you are entitled to what you want. Just know there's consequences that come with what you want. And last but not least, man, we need to protect our own, man. And I feel like we have so much energy for black folks, for our own kind, for people who look just like you and me, people in our family look just like the people that you beefing with. But you can't say, nah, man, this ain't worth it. Or somebody in your crew should say, nah, bro, this ain't it. Both of y'all on the verge of being successful, making 6 and 7 figures, you know what I'm saying, getting us all out, you know what I'm saying, getting us all out of our situation, getting us all out of poverty. Man, let's just handle it a different way. But nah, man, a lot of us, we want to pick up that gun and shoot because of our ego, our bruised ego. When we get our ass whooped, all you thinking about is killing another nigga, but you will never do that to that white supremacist. You got all the smoke for our own, but not the white supremacist. Man, that's my call. I just want y'all to think about that, man. Like, think about that. But I appreciate it, Fred. Thank you for letting me cook.
All the time. All the time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Why is that, Sarge? Why are we so forgiving for white supremacists or white people that do us wrong, and we hold grudges for nigga that stole $10 from us for our entire life?
You know, I don't know, and I think, you know, certainly guys and girls are different, right? Testosterone is a hell of a thing. That shit that courses through you guys makes you guys do nutty stuff. I can't speak on that because, you know, certainly there are some females that are out there that pretend to be about that life, but wholesale we're not. I don't know if it's, you know, the whole slavery thing that's got us so messed up that we want to, you know, we want to forgive and we want to love our oppressor. You know, I don't think that's all of us, but I certainly think that's a lot of us. You know, I'm not a turn the other cheek kind of girl. That's just not the way I'm constituted. So, you know, I don't know how some people get there. I can't speak on it.
All right. 305, what's up? Oh, you want your intro music?
Fred, thank you again for that.
Hey, what's up?
Thank you again for your platform here, Fred. Thank you. Like I said yesterday, I think you touched on a lot of important topics. Thank you for Sergeant Dorsey. We appreciate you coming on here with your insight from your different perspective of you actually coming on the show. I have a question for both of you because I think both of you can address this from both different angles, and it pertains to this. What would you say to, because I have 20-year-old kids, and I'm pretty sure some folks have older kids that are out here. Now, what would you say, because I know we always talk about black people need to pool our money and we need to come together, but what would each one of you say to folks who leave home way too early, and they just renting and they just out here? They're living, but they're struggling. How much further do you think that would help us as the people, or what could that do?
Well, you know, I think part of the problem is that we as Black folks, we quick to throw our kids out, you know, especially our sons, right?
Right.
And maybe that's again, you know, a guy thing. You know, you turn 18, you know, back in the day it was you go to the military or you get out. You know, you're not working. Other cultures don't do that. They allow their children to, you know, stay in the nest until they're ready and flourish. We are quick to throw our children out, and then they get caught up. They're out there in the world, or they're trying to do the best that they can, and then they wind up, you know, getting involved in things that are certainly going to be probably life altering down the road. I think that should change. I think we should be more tolerant. And I'm not saying, you know, you as a grown ass man, you should be in your mama's house till you 40. But I'm just saying, you know, these are different times. The economy is screwed up, jobs. I think we need to think differently about how quickly we want to just toss our kids out into the street and say, fend for yourself. But that's just me. Maybe because I'm a mom, you know.
Right. And
What would you say to that, Fred? Being that you coming from the owning the land, and you know a lot of renters and people renting, they have no business renting if they just took their ass home.
I agree with you, Sarge. Like, I don't believe age defines manhood. You know, whether it's life experiences or organic maturity, there's a combination, and and there's like combustion that happens inside of a man that will afford him an opportunity to believe in himself and make shit happen. But I don't believe 18 you kick your child out. You know, I mean, I think that you leave the house when the parent has prepared. There's preparation, accountability too. You know, like it's like for real. It's some of the easiest things to do, I think, Sarge. For real, is have your child leave your house with perfect credit. You know, like that's not challenging at all. You put 2 bills in your kid's name, 3 bills in your kid's name, give them a credit card at 16, pay the bill. Like they leave your house, or when they graduate from college, or they leave the police force, graduate from the military, whatever they gonna do, they leaving with 830 credit, 840 credit, 800 credit. It's not hard. These things are rather easy to do, you know, and I think the parents' actions are important as well. So, for example, like open like reality type shit, like paying the bills with your kids, like cooking with your kids, like if you go to the gas station, pay, let the kids see you pay, like problem solving in the house, male female problem solving in the house, you know, like dialogue before beating the shit out of your kid. You know what I mean? I shouldn't say beating the shit out of your kid, but disciplining your child. You know, like all these, you do this for 20 years, 22 years, it adds up, and I believe an above average human being. You know, and I think that these are things that are very, very important. Like don't stray away, no matter how sexy life gets, right? No matter how sexy it get, how much money you make, how fat her ass is, how fine she is, as a man, do not stray away from core values. I don't give a damn. Do not stray away from being a hands-on person with your child. Like, don't stray away, you know. And I think that speaks volumes as well.
Well, you know, all of what you're saying is work, right? That's all work.
Yeah, go ahead, Sarge.
Yeah, that's work. And you know, a lot of people don't want to roll up their sleeves. You know, it ain't easy. If it were easy, then everybody would do it. But it goes back to me saying, you know, when you bring a child into the world, that's actually a whole human.
Yeah, it is.
And you have a responsibility. You know, I tell you, I watch a lot of Animal Planet. You know, and I'm just fascinated by other animals, and I look at. Sometimes I tell my kids, like, you know, you better be glad you weren't born a turtle, because I'd have had your ass on the beach.
And then what about to just not even just the kids, but just the adults that are out here? Because there's adults that are out here that aren't kids, and they can maybe go live with their sister or brother or somebody else, but they got too much pride because they want to keep that space, their own personal space, that they won't do that. What would you say to that? I'm just speaking to the cultural part of it, because we always want to attribute somebody else and give somebody else responsibility. But there's some stuff that we could do that's very practical and it's very easy. And within 6 months to a year, you'd be so far down the road, it wouldn't matter whatever the hell Trump or whoever else was doing. I think we just lose focus of some of the stuff that we're doing because we want everybody else to do everything. And I noticed, I'm going to say this and I'm going to get off. I noticed when I was 20, in my 20s, I would blame people for everything. And as I got to my 30s, I realized that I created a lot of fucking shit that I had to go back and fix from my 20s. And it's not everybody's fault, because sometimes we just make very bad decisions. But the living part of it, I just would like you guys, I'm going to go ahead and get off, but I just would like you guys to speak to the adults that are out here in this world, that they may be 30, they may be 40, but you know you got a sister who got a house, or a brother, or even if your child, if you're 55, 60, and your child has done pretty well for themselves, and they've been asking you, because everybody who's in that position has probably been begging their parents, hey, come on home. You don't got to be paying rent. And they just won't do it because they want their own space. I'm going to go ahead and fall back and get off. I just want to hear you guys' opinion on that. I appreciate your show again, Fred.
All the time. Go ahead, Sarge.
Yeah, I just think you have to model the behavior.
Yeah,
you have to. Yeah, I mean, it's like you said, it's not hard. It's not rocket science. And so just do it. Just do it. Priorities. What's important? What's the end game? What do you want? What do you want for you? What do you want for your children? The hope would be that every parent would want better for their child than what they had. That's how I was raised. I grew up middle class. I wanted for nothing. I could say I want, and my mom would finish the sentence. So, I was fortunate in that I had, a 2-parent home that I grew up in. I was an only child. And even though I grew up wanting for nothing, I wanted even better than that for my own.
Right.
So.
What's up, 411?
Yeah, fuck Donald Trump.
What's up?
Hey, what's up, Fred? Sergeant Dorsey, it's always a pleasure to see you on and always hear your perspective. Appreciate you. This is Lou from Pittsburgh, man. Oh, man, powerful information what you guys are talking about. And one more thing, well, 3 things I wanted to add quickly before we run out of time. Self-hate, we're dealing with that. We still have not addressed that issue. And this takes care of everything, I think if parents really just did a couple things, because not just in my family, I work with a lot of youth, and they hear so much negativity from family during the day. So one thing I tell the parents to do, you got to make sure you tell them you love them numerous times a day, so much that they got to tell you to stop, because so many of our kids don't get that. So that's one thing we all can do, and really tell the kids and show them that we love them, because they don't get it. They get nothing but negativity on this TV in the community. So as a family, we have to do that, to combat the effects of this negative system. We got to show them love. We got to teach them to love themselves. We got to get to the history and show them, we come from more than just slaves. We got to get back to that, really teaching our youth. 2, Fred, I know you talked about the situation with Charles, the young brother who was lynched or whatever. I think you should post the GoFundMe page in your chat. Would you have a problem if I posted that in there?
No, post it.
Okay, all right. The family did raise $138,000 so far.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And they had the picture of his picture next to Emmett Till.
Mm-hmm.
And man, that just pisses. That should piss everybody off. And we have to watch our children in these days and times. Right now, with the environment, you shouldn't be letting your children go anywhere. With a white community, somebody picking them up. Unless you really know that family, and do you really know that family? We have to be cognizant of where our kids are going. I'm reading this story. They picked them up from the dad's house. A white male and his mother picked him up. And then 2 days later, he comes up and his face is just battered. And it's painful. But I'm going to post that in the chat. Everybody just drop 5, 10, whatever you can in there. Help the family out. I can't imagine what they're going through. It's absolutely disgusting. And we have to really start protecting our kids. And the third point I wanted to talk to you about, I know we get into this voting, and so many people said they weren't voting. And one thing I want to point to, and I want Sergeant Dorsey to talk about this, Ron DeSantis, I guess he's the governor in Florida. He wants to change the stand your ground rules, where he wants people to just be able to shoot people when people are protesting or rioting or whatever, just to improve the stand your ground. We already know how that worked out for Trayvon Martin and other people, where that brother was killed. But we had the sister that shot at her husband, and she couldn't use that stand your ground. So voting has consequences. whether you like the people or not. I wasn't a fan of Biden. I wasn't a fan of Harris, but I did vote for them because we also, yes, we want them to have a black agenda, but if they have an anti-black agenda, that's just as dangerous. If it's completely anti-black, which is Trump's agenda, we have to vote against that as well. Very disappointed about their plan for the first 100 days. I see a lot of LBGT stuff. I see a lot of immigration stuff, and I see nothing specifically for us. And that's what I was afraid that was going to happen, and it turns out it is. But it's up to us right now to stay on their back, because he tweeted out there. He said the black community had his back. He has to have ours. That first 100 days, we need to have something set aside specifically for us. But I just wanted Sergeant Dorsey to talk about the situation in Florida and just her thoughts if she's familiar with that.
Well, listen, I mean, DeSantis is a Republican. He thinks and speaks like Lil Tink Tink. And so who would be surprised by, that kind of a position? And, that's why I say, particularly, what happens nationally is important, but really all politics are local. And so, I think, I wonder, obviously the demographics are what it is because DeSantis was able to beat out Gilliam, and I guess if he'd have spent less time in the hotel, doing shooters with folks, maybe he'd have done a better job, but that's a whole nother story. So
that's
yeah,
a whole nother,
how with everything that's going on, how did McConnell get reelected? How did Lindsey Graham just get reelected? I mean, so either folks are not voting or they aren't there in sufficient enough numbers to make a difference. I mean, all politics are local.
You bring up a great point, and we talked about voter fraud. Those are two situations that really need to be looked at, because all the way up until the final polling, it was neck and neck, and then for them both to win by double digits, I could almost guarantee you there was some funny business going on there, But the Democrats are so lost now, and Republicans are doing this stuff right in front of them. I guarantee that both of those guys did some funny business to get those. I mean, I can't see how they would win by double-digit margins. But the Democrats are just lost. They want to play nice, and the Republicans are just, they're going for blood. And that's why they always lose, the Democrats. But we do need to focus on building our own agenda and shop it to both parties. Now is the time, with Ice Cubes and all these people, we really need to get our agenda and shop it around. If Joe Biden doesn't do what he tweeted and said he was going to do. But that was my call. I thank you, Sergeant Dorsey. You always bring great information and great energy, so we truly appreciate it. Fred, once again, another classic. Appreciate you, bro. Let me get back in bed. I got to be up in a couple hours, but I stay up just to get all this good knowledge. So
all right, thanks,
peace
dog.
and blessings to you, Fred, Sergeant Dorsey, and everybody in the chat. Peace.
Yeah.
Let me say this real quick before we lose anybody else, because I didn't come on last Thursday. I didn't feel like it. For those of you who were looking for me on my YouTube channel, but tomorrow I'm gonna come on tomorrow, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about what politicians and police chiefs are purporting to do going forward now that I think this election is beyond us. And, there's talk in New York about having clinicians and medical professionals respond to mental illness calls. But in that, there's some double talk and some code speak. I want to talk about, I'm going to put it up when I set this up on StreamYard, Christopher Dorner, LAPD, and police culture, because there's some shenanigans going on, I believe, right now in the LAPD, and people need to know that these police chiefs are savvy. And this was my complaint when I had one about Cube and meeting with police professionals and not knowing what it is that they're saying, not understanding the lingo and not understanding police culture. When you think you're getting a thing, defund the police, right, is a big deal. And I'm going to talk tomorrow about, actually, I did that a couple of days ago on my YouTube channel about what defund the police LAPD style looks like, because some shit's about to jump off in LA with this whole defund the police. And for those of you who haven't seen the video on my YouTube channel, check it out. It was a couple of days ago. It's called Defund the Police, LAPD style. And then tomorrow, I'm going to talk a little bit more about that and how they're kind of, you know, waving shiny objects in front of our face to make us think that they're really about making our quality of life issues paramount, when really it's all smoke and mirrors.
Right.
And you need to know. Because if you know, then you can call them out on it, and then you can ask for the thing that you really wanted, not what they are giving you. And that's not unique to LAPD. NYPD, and I'll just say this real quick, because NYPD, the mayor just said, de Blasio just said, and it's so telling to me when I hear it, what he said about they're doing this amazing thing now, and they're going to have medical experts, not the NYPD, respond to 911 mental health calls. But here's what's going to happen beginning in February of 2021. They're going to have health professionals and crisis workers who will be dispatched through their 911 instead of NYPD officers, right? But here's the deal. The NYPD will no longer default response to non-violent situations. How many 911 calls for someone who's having a mental episode does not include violence of some sort? Most of them do. The young man that was just killed, he had a knife. Some said it was a butter knife, but he had a knife. That's violence. So those calls are going to go to the police. So while they pretend as though they're doing something different, they're really not. And police are going to continue to kill folks who suffer from mental illness, because when there's violence, they're not going to send a professional. They're going to send the police. But that's the kind of trickery that they say to make you think, oh, good, that's perfect. So now they're going to send out professionals instead of police, except if there's violence.
DB, you out there? Because DB working. He working tonight, and he said he gonna be in and out. So I want to see if DB's out there. And I just want to add to the conversation prior to the call about raising the kids too. I was a school teacher, right? And perfect attendance is overrated for a student. Take your kid to work with you. Take your kid, like too many parents use their off days to deal with fires in the classroom, right? Like, you gotta take an off day when the sun is out in your child's life, like don't fall in love with summa cum laude, valedictorian, whatever that shit is in high school. Like, fall in love with the long-term development of your child. I think that that's important, like having a presence, and real pragmatic life ventures, as opposed to being ceremonious with your time. Oh, we going to the graduation. Oh, my child got a sticker. Perfect attendance. You know what I mean? And because they want your child to have perfect attendance, because they get $160 a day for your kid, or whatever it is now.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, that whole perfect attendance is based on dollars and cents. That's why they want you there. They don't give a damn. You don't have to pay attention when you come. I just need you in the seat.
Right. You got to make it through homeroom, and and because when I taught special ed, I saw the money coming in. Like, was he here? Did he get the services?
Right.
So we got one more beam, and then we out here. Ant Fresh, real quick, Ant. What's up?
Oh no, man. I just want to tell y'all I appreciate y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Fred, the show has been amazing. This topic was it's very much needed, man. So thank you again. And Sergeant Dorsey, everything that you have provided intellectually as a mother has just been amazing. Like I'm taking notes of a lot of stuff that you've been saying. So thank you. That's all I wanted to comment and say.
Appreciate you, Aunt.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, Aunt. Yeah, and yeah. Any last words, Sarge?
Be kind.
Be kind, right?
Yeah, be kind.
Yeah.
Yeah, and laugh. We need a little humor right now. Everybody's all tense and uptight, and yeah, do everybody just tomorrow or the next 2 days do something just for you. Be selfish. Be good to you.
Mhm.
Yeah, lighten the mood, lighten the air.
That's so hard to do. Like you get all this all these traumas, you know what I mean? It's change is coming though. Put this on your brain. Maybe we'll talk about this next week. Are the civil right babies holding this generation back? Like in terms, you don't know what I'm saying. I see your neck twisted. Like they're passive aggressive. I think this generation is more like, man, we want our shit right now. I don't think this generation wants to march. I think they want to burn shit down and kill motherfuckers. You know what I mean? Like, but the civilness of the civil rights movement. Did that make sense? Did you get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, but you know what? It's not a whole lot of people that are really about that life. They'll talk a good game, and of course, I can't advocate any act of violence.
Mhm.
But I hear the young kids say we're not our grandparents, so
Mhm.
I know they want to do something, and I don't know that it's necessarily a bad thing. But I think these young kids are much more aggressive, and
Yeah.
maybe that's good. Yeah, there's no harm in being aggressive. I think folks need to be singularly focused,
Mhm.
and then just keep your eye on the prize, whatever that is, whatever that means to you. And don't be deterred.
Mm.
Don't look for agreement. Don't wait for somebody else to do that thing that you want done. You do it.
That's a good topic. Don't look for agreement.
Your agreement is not required. Shall I wear that shirt next week?
Yeah. We're gonna add that in. Please add that in because
Yeah.
I think you need to have a sermon on that, even if it's just a reminder for us and myself included.
And you know what goes along with that is that the other thing that people need to know is that you are good all by yourself.
Mhm.
You are good all by yourself. You have nothing to prove to anyone. And if you understand that, and if you know that, if you believe that, and you're singularly focused,
Mhm.
I think you can get stuff done.
Right. Damn right. Yeah, because I see something wrong with I'm gonna play the song I just talk. Tell me to play the song, Sarge. DB
Play
go.
the song. Play the damn song.
Because I have a problem with us being monolithic voters. Like how the hell is 9 out of 10 black people that voted Democrats? That don't make sense to me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, everyone's a Democrat. Nah, I don't believe that one bit. You know what I mean? So but yeah, man, this was oh man, I gotta breathe after this show, man.
Yeah, this was heavy. I'm gonna need to top this off. Yeah.
Damn, man. Damn. Yeah, man, we definitely got to stop killing us, man. But change is coming, man. We're gonna do our part. We're gonna do our part, and I'm gonna find a way to infiltrate these motherfucking local politics too. You know what I mean? Like, I believe I have a little bit of influence, you know. So we definitely gonna try and do that on the local. But these 5 cities, Sarge, I think we got a shot at this, man. Whew, it's gonna be hard work.
See, yeah, make it happen, Captain.
You gonna see me in front of that Atlanta Falcons game, passing out leaflets and shit.
That's what's up.
Man, we gonna be working, man. Look at you. And so in which, yeah, man, that's gonna be fun. What you got? So what you got this weekend?
I'll be doing some filming with the Dead Files again.
Yeah.
They seem to really like me, so I've got 2 more episodes.
Beautiful.
And I also have a chemistry test, which is a test to see, if this other venture wants to bring me on board. So let's everybody um, stand in agreement, and it's going to be with a major network. So I'm excited about that opportunity.
DB, yeah, I'm gonna need some help. TB, hurry up. What's up, DB? Hurry up, nigga. What you got?
Man, you know I'm gonna get this shit started right now. So I wanted to give some love to all the family, all at one time, man. Peace to everybody, man. Stop the shooting, stop the killing, love each other. Sergeant Dorsey, big smooches and kisses to you, Fred. I love you. Peace to the family.
All right, PC. I know he at work. So
Yeah.
appreciate
All right, bro.
All right, love you, man. Hey, so y'all got a job to do. 5 o'clock, y'all go to Sarge. 6 o'clock, y'all come to me. So which would be dope. You know what I mean? You gonna talk about the LAPD, and I'm gonna talk, and Rizza Islam is coming on here at 6, so it's gonna be, and then we're gonna come right back at 9 and double down. So y'all gonna be tired of me tomorrow. I'm definitely gonna be tired of y'all niggas, but we gonna do it. We gonna do it. You know what I mean? So consistency, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. We're gonna get out of here. So I appreciate y'all coming in. Champion. Oh, that's for you.
Aww.
Damn, he's looking extra lovely. Like, hey. I told her she had a high school ponytail on tonight. Send it to the side. All right, man. We love y'all. Dave, Jack, everybody. Rob G, FBI, B, the guy, Gump, Terrence Bailey, Dave, Jack. I need everybody's help, Jarvis. Rob G Films, TB, Terrence Bailey, everybody else. We appreciate you. We know we get Sarge out of here on time. Y'all can use me up every other day, but we get Sarge out on time. Love y'all, man.